All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about the Detroit Lions, now 14-2 thanks to their road victory against the San Francisco 49ers. Now, even with a loss today, next week against Minnesota is going to be for the NFC North. It's going to be for the #1 seed. I get it. This game had some interesting components, specifically the first and second quarter defensively for the Detroit Lions. But at the end of the day, they did what they needed to do. We're going to run through a bunch of clips. This was the game winner here. It is 3rd and 2. They're on the San Francisco 49ers 30-yard line. Jake Bates drilled 2 50-plussers, but he did miss 2 extra points, and he was dealing with what seemed to be like some type of cramp in his hamstring or his quad or something like that. And Jahmyr Gibbs runs this in for a 30-yard touchdown. Jahmyr Gibbs on the day, 18 carries, 117 yards, and a touchdown. And my point is, this was the winner. I'm about to show you Kirby Joseph's 9th interception because he had 2 of them. I guarantee you, even though the Detroit Lions gave up 400 yards of offense to San Francisco, first off, it's still Brock Purdy, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle. It's still very good offense. But I do just want to say, if Detroit's getting 1 interception in a game, or if they're getting even a defensive turnover, and obviously they're keeping it clean, no fumbles, no Jared Goff turnovers or interceptions, I should say. If Detroit's going to win the turnover battle, the defense doesn't worry me in any way, shape, or form. This is just beautiful execution, beautiful blocking. You can see Tim Patrick right there. It's giving you a huge block. That is a reoccurring theme. And then just real quick, this is a couple of minutes, the drive right before it. Kirby Joseph, it's still a 6-point game. Both teams have their timeouts. There's 8 minutes left on the clock here. San Francisco is moving the ball downfield. Nothing's easy. And Kirby Joseph just jumps this route on, I believe, Ricky Purcell for his 9th interception. Kirby Joseph had 2 picks. Both of them were huge. This one was just a phenomenal intuition, just jumping this route. But folks, welcome back to the channel. Obviously, we are trying something completely new. If you can try and get this video to 400 likes, folks, that would blow me away. But hit that like button, hit that sub button if you haven't already. This is stuff we're doing on my Lions channel a little bit more. And let me know if you guys enjoy this type of content, because I always feel bad showing game clips from other games because I'm not the NFL. I can't show their highlights. So once again, Detroit only had 1 sack on Brock Purdy today, and it was not the best, or I think maybe 2 sacks because of the post 2-minute warning. I get they're decimated defensively. Melifonwu came back. Jalen Reeves-Maybin came back today. He had a huge play, contributed to a huge play. And I don't know, man. Kirby Joseph's got 9 picks on the season. Everyone was talking about sacks. So many people just talking about sacks. They're not getting sacks without Aiden Hutchinson. Za'Darius Smith and Aiden. Even if he comes back in the Super Bowl, it's still not going to be enough. My biggest concern is not necessarily specific injuries to guys like Carlton Davis. It is. And Alex Anzalone, it is. Aiden Hutchinson, it is. These are big deals. But if guys like Kirby Joseph, Melifonwu's back now, rookie Terrion Arnold, Brian Branch, even though he had a stupid penalty that led up to Kirby Joseph's 9th interception, I don't know, man. I just don't have too many concerns with the offense or the defense. Sorry. They were even saying this, announcing. It was very weird. I like Joe Buck and I like Troy Aikman enough. I like Joe Buck a lot. I feel like they don't. I don't know. I just felt like it was more skewed towards San Francisco. Now, this is 3rd and goal here. It's 13-21. Started the 3rd quarter. I believe this was the first possession. Dan Campbell goes for it on 4th down all the time. He was 2 for 3 today. Guarantee you, even though they're on the 6.5-yard line, Dan Campbell would have gone for this. I don't always love it, but when, once again, this is just 3rd down. This is a touchdown to Sam Laporta. We're going to wait for the all-22 clip, the all-22 tape. We'll make a Lions video tomorrow, post it here with film where we can see a little bit of the better angles. But this is Sam Laporta. I think this is now like his 7th touchdown in 11 games. Sam Laporta is going to have over 600 receiving yards on the season. I think this was his, I could actually check it right now. I think this was his 7th touchdown of the season. He started very slow, and he was slow at points in the season. And I would just say that is because of injuries, and also in the first couple of games, I don't know. I feel like teams were just scheming specifically for Sam Laporta because he had a historic rookie season. But this is just a beautiful throw by Jared Goff. I believe he's now at 36 touchdowns, only 10 picks. He's going to be over, I want to say 4,300, maybe 4,400 yards on the season. I find it very weird how the 14-2 Detroit Lions led by their quarterback and Jared Goff, do not. It's just crazy to me. I'm sure he's floating around 4 or 5, and I just don't see it. But I think it's kind of crazy how little much Jared Goff MVP conversations there are. This is where things are going to get fun. Now, this one is just a bad throw from Brock Purdy here, just a little bit of an errant throw. You can see, can't see, it's a little bit blurry, obviously, clicking in between it, but this is just an overthrow, just a bad throw from Brock Purdy, and Kirby Joseph is in a beautiful spot. This was for his 8th interception. Once again, huge situationally, because it's 24-28. They're at the midfield. It's 1st and 10. There was something that happened right before this. I don't know if it was the George Kittle. I think there was like a big George Kittle catch, or there was a stupid penalty or something like that. Let me even, while we're on the topic, there were way too many penalties, a lot of stupid penalties today from the Detroit Lions. They had 6 for 57. Got to clean parts of it up. Specifically, Brian Branch just kind of like pushed Juwan Jennings down towards the end of that football game. And then the next play was Kirby Joseph's 9th interception, his second one of the night that we showed earlier on. But some of these penalties, as far as like unsportsmanlike conduct goes, there was another one in the first quarter with Juwan Jennings, who was like pushing Terrion Arnold, and then Kirby Joseph got in there, took a shot, and they got neutralized flags. But that was stupid, because it would have pretty much backed up San Francisco on whatever down they were. I think it was 2nd and goal, something like that, and it would have put them at their 15th on 2nd and goal position. So just the small stuff like that is what Dan Campbell always loves to preach, attention to detail. But there's Kirby Joseph's 1st interception. Now, this is just a smart play from Ben Johnson, who put on a masterclass. The Detroit Lions had like 441 yards of total offense. They dominated time of possession. San Francisco was really getting a lot of big chunk plays for the first half, really, and then there were some chunk plays towards the end of the game, right at the end of the fourth quarter, etc. But this is just beautiful. This is the only clippage I could get, but you can see Jameson Williams going in motion. Nothing there. He turns right back, grabs this football, and I think that's Glasgow, number 60, who makes a huge block. This team is so good at blocking. I believe that's Glasgow, right? Number 60. I mean, without Glasgow, even though Jameson Williams, they were saying it on the broadcast, he says he runs a 4.1, which would mean he's the fastest dude in the world, which I honestly, I don't know too much about track and Olympians, but Jameson Williams is definitely the fastest dude in the NFL as far as I'm concerned. But without this block here, this is not a touchdown. And once again, this is 3rd and goal on the 3-yard line. I guarantee you Dan Campbell would have gone for this. This play is beautiful. Once again, I'm not the NFL, so I would have loved to show this pre-snap and post, but this is what we could gather. So this is Jared Goff just throwing a little bit of a nice route to Amon-Ra St. Brown, who chips it to James Williams for the hook and ladder. Huge, just kind of setting the edge from Sam Laporta, and a huge block from Tim Patrick. And I'm sorry, once again, because of copyright, I can't just show every single clip. But this is huge. This is what, a 42-yarder. They've been hook and laddering a couple of times this season. Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce's brother, on the ESPN broadcast said at halftime, he always says Travis Kelce. We all know Travis Kelce. He says, my God, what's this telephone? He says that it's the most underutilized thing in the NFL rulebook, and I actually completely agree. And it seems like Ben Johnson of the Detroit Lions completely agree. But I do want to just go with the little stuff here. Like Dan Campbell loves to say, there's 4 San Francisco guys right there. Number 2 is getting tripped up from Amon-Ra St. Brown right there. But then you have Fred Warner, number 53, and I forget the safety's name right there. Sam Laporta technically isn't, throwing like a huge block on these guys, because JMO's really that fast. And he had a phenomenal game, by the way. 5 catches, 77 yards, and a touchdown. He just clipped like 4, at least 3 right there, San Francisco 49er defensive players. And then you see Tim Patrick here, just the cherry on top on number 6, who once again, we don't have a good angle on this, probably isn't going to get JMO. Maybe he's going to clip his shoe and force him to trip. But this is just a great takedown from Tim Patrick, Sam Laporta for the Jameson Williams touchdown. Outside of that, man, we're running out of time here. It's already been 9.5 minutes since 11:15 here in Florida. I know the game was very close, and I know you don't want to give up that last 2-minute warning touchdown, but at the end of the day, the Detroit Lions defense, even though they gave up over 30 points, 34 points, it's enough to build off those 2 interceptions. I want to see more pressure on quarterbacks. Like Brock Purdy has to get pressured way more. Aaron Glenn's got to draw some stuff up. But guys are coming back. Alex Anzalone will be back. Jalen Reeves-Maybin just came back in week 18 against Minnesota. That is when you should be focused on the defense. If the defense ends up losing this football game against Minnesota, that's not good. So, they're very decimated, but they're doing, I'm just rambling and yapping, folks. That is it for today. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Let me know if you like this version more than the previous version. And guys, give me your player of the game and your thoughts on this game down below. Peace.